Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the new noPhoto Pro. So basically what this is, it's kind of a license plate protector. It's designed to protect you against any sort of speed cams or red light cameras, that kind of stuff. And basically the idea is, if we take a look on either side, right there you'll actually see there's a little xenon flash bulb. There's one on that side, and then there's another one over here on this side. And basically the idea is when there's something that takes a picture of your car, you got a license plate frame right here. There's a little sensor at the bottom right down there. You can see that. That little sensor will notice anytime anything flashes your car, flashes your plate, and the flashes on either side of the frame itself will actually fire back so that it overexposes the picture on the camera itself and they can't really see what your plate is. So basically makes it so they get no photo, hence the name, the noPhoto. So cool. As far as what you'll see when it's mounted in your car, you just got the black license plate frame. They are working on adding things like, having labeling around it so you can make it say whatever you want, that kind of thing. But this one's just blank as is. The way it works, you've got a slot here at the top where the license plate actually slides into. So it slides down, you kind of have to wiggle it in a little bit, and then slides down into place. And then go ahead and turn it. If you look at the side, it's about, I believe, 1.62 inches. It's a little over 1.5 inches, a little bit thicker than I was expecting. But then again, a license plate is just a super thin sheet of metal, and this thing's not. So, anyways, looking at the back, the way it's mounted, it's flat on the back, and then you got 4 spots for screws to actually slide through. If you take a look at the front one more time, you'll see that the plate itself is actually screwed in 4 different spots. So it screws through. And then on the back, what you've got are these 2 bars right here. These things right now I have them mounted to the plate, but basically what you'd want to do is you'll see there's screw slots there and there. You take these things off, you screw these to the car, and then the plate itself will actually screw into these bars. So that's the way that works. And then you'll notice if we look at any one of these, there's 3 little slots. So you can actually, once you get these things mounted, you can actually mount the noPhoto at a couple different heights so that it's really, fitting your car, depending on how your car is designed. So you do that, you can, screw in, you take the plates, or take the screws off of what's already there, and screw it in there and there. And if you have another set of screws, you put that and that, and then you screw this onto these bars. So there you go, that's how that would work. Right here, you've got your power plug. That's that. Right over here, there'd be a little serial number sticker. I covered it up just because. But and then right down here at the bottom, you got a little, I guess, date stamp made in, November 2013. I'm guessing that's what that means. So there you go. That's the look at that. Go ahead and turn this around. And then actually, so that's just a look at the physical device itself. Let's go ahead and plug it in and turn it on too. So the way the, oops, sorry. So the power switch itself, there's a little quick release, looks like this. Sorry, I know it's going to be kind of shaky, but focus. Good job. Okay, so there's a little kind of red weather seal right there, which is pretty nice. The thing is sealed against, rain and stuff. Not to be totally dunked, but it does have some weather sealing. So the way you use it is you've got your plug right here. I'll go ahead and just slide it in. There we go. And that's how you actually wire it up. So it's now plugged in, and that's that. The other side of the plug, it's basically just 2 bare wires, positive and a ground. And the way those look, let's see, I'll pull it up here. Got my iPad going, so we'll load the picture. And the way it works, you can see there's the 2 bars that I was just showing you. In the picture, they've got these little rectangular things. The ones that I showed you actually had a little bit bigger. You can see they've got slots for 3. In the picture, it was just 1, so it's a little bit different compared to, I guess, the original one. And then there's also going to be the way the wire works. If we take a look here, you'll see there's going to be the exposed, the red is the positive and the black is going to be the ground. And then those would slide into these T-taps right here. You guys have probably seen these, the vampire taps. They would just go like this and clip into one for positive and one for ground. And then these things here would actually slide into there. The wire itself is supposed to slide into these, and then the one tool that you are supposed to get if you don't already have it is going to be a set of crimpers. Basically the wire would slide into here, and then this crimps down. They do suggest in the manual against using just regular pliers. It is better to actually use a set of crimpers. So that's that. That's what the wire looks like. That's the you can see right down here, you got the plug that I just used, and that's the other wire. What I did for now is I just went ahead and soldered a little cigarette lighter plug onto these two tips right there. That way I could plug it in and just use it for testing. So anyways, that's that. You can see now that I've got it powered on. There's going to be the 3 LEDs on the bottom there that'll actually make it light up. So let's see, turn this off real quick. That's what it looks like at night. Kind of vampire looking almost, you know, lit from below. Ooh, all evil. So that's that. That's the way it looks. And then let's see, we can go ahead and trigger it too so you can see. I've got a flash here, so we'll go ahead and turn it on. So it's just an SLR flash, and I'm going to wait for it to fill the capacitors. Once it does, that little red light will come on. So cool, there you go. And basically what happens now is when we trigger it, there's a little sensor right down here, and then it's going to make the flashes fire on either side of the noPhoto. So let's go ahead and do that. I've got the button here. And that's probably ridiculously blinding because I know that's the idea. But the first one to fire is the one on this side. The second one to fire is the one on that side. And then it takes about 15 seconds or so for the capacitors to charge back and for the noPhoto to remain functional again. So that's the way it works. Pretty simple and straightforward. So I guess we could do it again. I mean, it's going to be equally blinding, but whatever. So, okay, it's probably recharged now. So just press this pilot button here again. Nope, hasn't recharged yet. Give it a little bit longer, I guess. Let's see if it works now. There we go. And there's the other one. So, cool. That one worked again. So that's basically the noPhoto. We're going to do some actual photo demos later with, you know, putting this on an actual camera and seeing how well it blinds the camera. Now this is actually the noPhoto Pro. And basically what the noPhoto Pro does for you, it's the same, you know, flash holder device. It just comes with a few extra accessories. One is going to be for these screws right here. Special screws because once these things back here are actually screwed onto your car with the normal screws, these are going to be special security screws that you can't do with just a normal screwdriver. So if you get the Pro, it does ship with the security screws plus the special Allen wrench, which will slide in there, slides in, and then it lets you screw and unscrew the noPhoto itself. And then once you remove that, you can take the screws off here. So you do need the security screws and the Allen wrench in order to remove it. So if you're worried about people stealing it or whatever, go for this. The other thing that it comes with is going to be this remote right here. So the remote, pretty lightweight, plastic, comes with a key ring. It feels really thin and light, doesn't add a lot of weight. It comes with 3 buttons right here. So basically what you're looking at, this red button right here is going to be your kill switch. If you press the button, you'll see the red light. Come on, see that? So when I press this, doesn't matter how many times, but you press it, and the lights at the bottom will stay on, but the noPhoto itself will no longer respond to any sort of flashes. So if you are going to be going through, let's say, a toll booth, and you do want them to take your picture, or if you're going to be going through a border crossing, and you know they're going to be taking pictures of your plate and you want them to, get the noPhoto Pro. It'll come with this remote, and you can actually kill the flash response if you want. If you want to reactivate it, you're going to press this circular button right here. Press that, and now the noPhoto is activated again. So if you want to, you know, return back to normal functionality, you do that. So that's the circle button, and it also functions as a test button, like you saw. Fired again, and that's the other one. So this is both to reactivate it as well as the test function. So as you can see there, it works just fine. Now the third button right here is for like the quote-unquote advanced mode, this triangle button. Basically the way the noPhoto normally works, it fires 2 flashes as you can see. First here, second one there. A lot of speed cameras actually do use 2 flashes, not just 1. But there's some that use just 1 flash. So if you want, you can have both of them fire at the same time. It'll make it more powerful and more effective. You really only need 1, but if you know in your area they're only going to be using 1 flash at a time, you can activate this advanced mode by pressing the triangle, and then when you flash, let's hit the test button. That's really bright. When you press the test button, both of them will fire. And so if you want them to do that, you can. They do have a big warning in the manual that says if you activate this mode, you can get tickets, because if you run across a camera that uses 2 flashes, you'll blind the first flash but not the second. So it's not recommended to use this unless you know for sure that the cameras in your area are going to be operating with just one flash. But for most people, just leave it on. You'd probably never need to use it. The remote itself actually does come with a battery built in. I didn't open it up or anything. It's got little screws there, you know. But yeah, already included, already working, pretty cool. Oops, yeah, bright. So that's that. Cool, let's see, what else is there? The manual, it does come with a paper manual. Pretty handy, tells you all about installation, safety stuff, you know. One thing I thought was kind of cool is they've got a YouTube video, a link right there if you get the ebook version, and also a QR code if you know, you're reading the paperback version like this and you just want to pull up the YouTube video. So I thought that was a nice touch. Also cool things if you, you know, your experience with installing these things and you basically help out the noPhoto company, they'll send you $10. It's kind of like a little rebate once you buy one of these things, just to help them, you know, get some instructions on here's what it's like to install on this car and on that car, and helping them build the database. So they'll help you out if you help them, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's that. Let's see what else. Oh, so this is, I think I mentioned it earlier, an updated version of the noPhoto. So basically what that includes, we'll scroll down. There are a couple updates compared to the original one. So the first one they talk about is the full-time low-level LED lighting. Basically the lights here at the bottom. So it's on no matter what, all the time. No matter what setting I do on the remote, like you saw, I can turn it off or whatever, but the lights will stay on. And it's pretty handy if this top here actually blocks the license plate lights, because, you know, you do want them lit. So pretty handy there. The second thing it did was shorten the vertical height by ½ an inch. Apparently that increases compatibility. Sure, I'm not really sure how, but fitting into, I guess, certain cars if it's really narrow where the plate's supposed to be. So I guess that's that. The third thing, a slight increase in width, 1/16 of an inch. I guess they just made it a little bit wider so you can slide your plate in more easily. And then the fourth thing is the molded cavity for the power plug. So it looks like this, like we saw, and this actually is, you can see, it does go in. So they stick it in that way. So that's that. So that's the overview of the noPhoto. And then as far as pricing, we'll just take a look online real quick. This one is $400. This is the updated version. Go back real quick. And then if we just look at pricing for, one more time. No, their website. Loading, loading, loading. There we go. Okay, so here's a couple different versions. Here is the noPhoto Pro, which is the one that we're looking at today. Then there's the noPhoto, the regular one, which basically comes with normal screws instead of the ones with this Allen wrench, and then no fob here. And then there is the older version of the noPhoto Pro. It doesn't have, you know, the lights at the bottom and the changes that I just went over. And then the regular original noPhoto, which, again, original noPhoto with no remote and stuff. So that's the current pricing on them. $400 for this one that we're looking at today, and then $350, $300, and $250 for the others, and then $10 if you want the security screws. So that's that. I'm going to be doing some actual testing with it, comparing it to another product that I got really similar, and then doing some test shots in the real world to give you an idea as far as how it would actually perform. So there you go. There is a look at the noPhoto Pro.